Peanuts. You've all likely consumed some of these tasty legumes before, whether in the form of peanut oil, peanut butter, or simply plain. The peanut is a common source of protein for people across the US and a common agricultural crop. But it wasn't always that way. Prior to the early 20th century, peanuts were not even recognized as a crop in the US. That would all change when a black scientist and agricultural scholar named George Washington Carver entered the scene. After his graduation from Iowa State as the university's first ever black student, Carver started teaching at Tuskegee Institute in Alabama. The South at the time relied almost exclusively on cotton, a dependence that would soon cripple them. The cost of decades of a single crop on the soil made cotton harder and harder to grow every year. Poor black farmers were hardest hit by the poor soil quality because they couldn't afford to buy expensive commercial fertilizer. In addition, unfair laws kept black farmers in a position little better than slavery. Whites rented them the land in exchange for a share of the profits, only to take it away for a single year of poor yields. George Washington Carver sought to remedy this horrific situation with an innovation brand new to the South: crop rotation. By planting crops such as soybeans, sweet potatoes, and peanuts, farmers could restore nitrogen to the soil and increase their crop yields. Peanuts were particularly good for this purpose because they could be grown during cotton's off-season. To teach this method to the poor black sharecroppers in his region, Carver invented the Jessup Agricultural Wagon, a horse-drawn classroom for soil chemistry. His teachings were successful, and many farmers began using crop rotation. It worked! The surplus of peanuts that began to build up inspired his creation of the famous 300 Uses for Peanuts pamphlet. While these chemical creations were nothing too revolutionary, or even exclusively his creation, they helped encourage the use of peanuts, giving the black farmers a much-needed boost. George Washington Carver is best remembered today for his work with peanuts, both in the lab and in the fields. However, his true accomplishment is the spirit of unity with the land that he encouraged, and with both farmer and farm were kept healthy.